Greetings, peace, and blessings. I'm Javonna Tisdale, the spiritual of healer, and I'm really grateful and excited, and I feel so amazing in my body right now. So today I want to just give an update on my 21 days of expansion journey. Some of the things that I've already come to realize in the past couple of days since beginning this practice. And one of which is that this journey will not be like the last one because my schedule, my responsibilities are completely different. And so I have to really be mindful and realistic about the time that I have and what I really need to commit to anchoring in. And so right now for me, that is going to be my one study time. I am working through some different courses, working on my yoga teacher training, and also need to stay up to date on my license. So those things are really important to make sure that I am getting in that time to study. Secondly, body movement. And one of the things that I discovered was why I was so resistant to yoga. And I talked with my bestie about this. And when I started my yoga practice, it was back in 2006, somewhere around there. And the teacher that I had was very traditional, and it wasn't just about moving through the sequences. It was really about the awareness and the alignment and holding the pose, like feeling your way into it. And a lot of the teachings aren't quite like that anymore. Also, there's that effort or that force that is in a lot of yoga practices or styles or teachings, and I don't want that. And so I was like, why don't I do yoga nidra or yin yoga? That feels really good to my body, like so good to my body. And I love it because as a body worker, as a massage therapist, when we're in these relaxing poses, I can literally feel the tissues like relaxing and expanding and tension releasing. And even like if I press a little in one space, that helps to deepen that. So I'm like, this feels so good to me. So when I got out of that practice, like I was thanking myself for listening to my body as my body was thanking me for listening as well. So that was a beautiful realization. And I think something that we can struggle with is listening to ourselves and doing what works for us, because there's so many people who are saying, you have to do it this way. You've got to do it at this time. And it's really like tuning into yourself and asking, what do I need? Like, what would feel good to me? What will I look forward to doing each day as a body movement practice? And so for me, I have rested in this, and that's something that I can do in the morning, in the evening, whenever I want. And like, I mean, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So I have my study time, I have my yoga practice, and writing. So writing is so important because I've got books to publish, and carving out that writing time. I decided instead of an hour, 30 minutes a day, because again, I have to be mindful and realistic about the time that I have available. So as long as I either sit down to speak, where I'm recording, voice recording, and then having that transcribed and adding it to the text, that works. Or whether I sit and I'm like typing things out, that works as well. So those are the three core things that I desire to integrate. And so that's what I'm going to focus on. And I'm very proud of myself and excited about getting this, because what I do, because it is 21 days, I give myself like the first week of the month, because most months have 30 to 31 days. The first week is my trial week, where I see what struggles, what obstacles, what issues, what's going to pop up. Can I do this? If there was an excuse that I made, or just whatever, so that I can see, okay, so this isn't going to work. So what can I do to work around this? How important is this to me? What do I need to change in my schedule? What can I delegate? Where do I need support? Just, it helps me to overstep the obstacles, because if an excuse is I'm too tired, okay, well, that means I need to go to bed earlier. Or if it's something that's too hard, then that means, okay, I need to find another method of doing it. If I don't like it, then I need to find something that I like so that I can do it. And I think that's really important, because whenever we're learning or doing something new, we are naturally going to resist it. That inner critic, that inner voice, whatever story or patterns is going to pop up. And one of the beautiful things is, it doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to do. If you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, you're always going to meet a bit of resistance. And usually what happens is we stop and we give into the fear, we give into the voice, we give into the doubt, we give into the self-sabotage, instead of being like, okay, I see you and know what this is. This is part of the journey. It's part of the process. I'm not going to allow it to stop me. And even if you do stumble and you're like, dang, I missed a couple of days, I didn't do what I said I was going to do, instead of beating yourself up, you look at it. That's why, like, I gave myself grace and like, okay, like, I can see my schedule is not the same. I have a lot more going on, and I need to be a little more realistic about what I want to accomplish in these next 21 days, so that I'm not feeling like I didn't do what I set out to do. So that's just a little update on my 21 days of expansion journey, which is, now that I have streamlined things for myself, it's going really well, and I feel more confident and secure about it. So there was something else I wanted to share. I've got a couple of podcast episodes that I would like to get recorded now that I'm getting everything in my workspace settled again. All my decks are finally at home and settled in, and I'm really grateful for that, because I shared this, that for 3 to 4 years, most of my collection had been in storage. So I think I kept, like, I don't know, maybe 20 or so decks with me. And of course, that grew a bit because I was doing a little bit of deck shopping. And so getting them back has been a very enriching experience. It was a little overwhelming at first because I'm like, oh my gosh. But now that I've, like, had time to, like, get everything settled and put where I wanted and all of that, like, I feel more like myself than I have in quite some time. And it's just because these are, like, important spiritual tools for me. I really enjoy working with them, the way that they speak to me, the different forms of artwork and symbols and colors and the themes. And for me, it is just another beautiful tool that I like to work with. And so reading, I did a lot of readings, and because my collection was in storage and I was dealing with a lot of things and changes and personal stuff, I stepped back from everything from reading. Well, I was doing a few readings here and there for, like, people that I knew. And it feels good to be back. That's it. That's all I got. It's like coming back into myself, my work, the things that light me up and bring me joy. And I'll say that also another beautiful thing about having my expansive collection is I don't really desire any new decks. There are some that I've seen that I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love that. Like, there's this, I forget what it's called. It's like space, it's some, like, futuristic space themed tarot deck. It's beautiful on Kickstarter. And I was like, I don't need it. I don't have any space. Well, actually I do have some space themed decks. But I was like, I literally don't need it, because I have so many that I need to reconnect with and use and bond with. And one of the things that I did where is it? Is I actually did a reading yesterday or whatever day once I got my decks. Still, I love this, by the way. Like this makes me so happy because before I just had stacks of decks sitting on the floor and I could feel there was this blockage of energy just like knotted up like it needed. And once everything got put where it needed to go, like it started flowing again. So very beautiful. I did have a plan as far as like trying to categorize them in some way, but after a while I was tired. It took me, I think, about 4 hours to, first of all, clear out my space, move all of the decks, to bring in the shelving unit, to put it together, put it in place, and then put the decks back. So it was a lot of work, and I was tired. I was definitely tired after, but it was so worth it. So yeah, in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put, certain decks, I was like, after a while, I'll just get them on there and we'll figure it out later. So yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait to share more readings with you, more cards, more podcast episodes, as well as more amazing content inside of love that I have been working on. Yes. Oops, I'm dropping things. But yes, I just needed to do a little update, and I'm just grateful, like so grateful. Like I can't wait to, if you only knew the things that I have been through and experienced, and like it makes me passionate about helping other people. So when I say like living abundantly ever after, I mean that, because that is exactly what I'm doing, and it is an absolute blessing and joy. So I've been trying to figure out, because I have 2 courses that I'm working on right now. Well, 3, or yeah, anyways. So that has been my priority, which is why I haven't really created any new videos, but I do still have a backlog of podcast episodes that will be added to the channel. I just updated the other day, Heartbreak allows love to flow in. And that was a very transformative moment, because something that should have ended me spiritually and emotionally and mentally is actually what woke me up, what took me back to love, which is spiritual love, which took me back to self. And it was just a beautiful journey inwards, and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So I'm really excited to talk about a lot of the things. And one of the main messages or through lines that is coming in for me to really share is getting to a place where the whole war between man versus woman in the relationship space ceases. Because and it's very interesting, because other divisive tactics are, I won't say that they have stopped, I will say that the embers are smoldering. And so it's like we've got to fan the flames under another divisive subject so that we can continue to distract and feed off of. So it's going to be very interesting, because this is something I had to reconcile within myself from trauma that I have experienced dealing with the male population. And really what it boils down to is there's a lot of hurt and wounding and trauma, whether it was ancestral, generational, wherever it stemmed from. A lot of men are dealing with all of this stuff that they are sometimes not even aware of, and we're seeing that spilling out. And as we see more women rising up and, doing their healing work, awakening in various ways, there's like this power struggle that's not really there, but I feel like that's feeding into some of the negative, underlying negative energy that men are internally dealing with on a mental, emotional, spiritual level. So, yes, there is a lot that I've been writing down in various notebooks. And that's another thing. I have like all of my notebooks with notes and outlines of ideas that I have written since like 2018, 14. I don't know. It's been a minute. So I have been doing spiritual work before the internet popped off. Before it was okay to talk about tarot on social media, I was doing readings and working with crystals and aromatherapy and herbs and energy work and all the things and moon magic. And yeah, I'm excited and just ready to pour all of my gifts into whatever spirit desires for me to create and share. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I am just rambling. I just wanted to say hello and to share some updates. I cannot wait to get into some of this deck goodness with you. And I will see you next time. If you would like to connect with me on a deeper level, you can join me inside of Loved. It's my private membership community where I host events, teach classes, share resources, all sorts of things, including an exclusive podcast, which is being formatted at this time that is just going to be super good. It's the story behind the story and then some. But yeah, that is where I'm going to be pouring in a majority of my focus as far as like teaching and energy healing and things like that. So if you want to work with me, connect with me, learn from me, that is the place to do it. Right now, it's only $27 to join as I am building the bones and the foundation. And so you can get in as an initial heartbeat and grow and elevate with me inside of love. So that's on my website, JavonnaTisdale.com/loved. I would love to have you in love so we can grow in love. I love you. Have a great week ahead. Peace.